Hi, I'm Cindy.
And I'm Eddie. Welcome, friends and family, to Squeeze the Day. Today we're going to go explore a cave in the side of a canyon, but not just any cave. This one's got an amazing tale to tell. This morning we woke up in Del Rio. We've got someplace very unique to go to, and we need to get there before time runs out. We had to get up and get going first thing in the morning to be able to get there quickly. The drive on the way was pretty scenic, so we were enjoying that at least. Not only did we get to see a beautiful sunrise, but we also got to enjoy a lot of the Texas landscape as we were driving. Without further ado, let's take you to our destination.
Upon arrival to the Seminole County State Historical Park, you'll head towards the park headquarters.
Follow the main road in the entrance, and I'll take you to the main parking lot by the headquarters building, which is where you need to be. We are currently at the Seminole Canyon, and we're going to go take a little hike. We just wanted to bring to your attention, if you look right there behind us, you can see RV parking area. So if you're an RV, you got a place to park. If you're not an RV, you can still park, of course. Obviously, you have a regular parking area. So let's go take a look at this thing. The Fate Bell Shelter Tour is $8 per adult, plus it's a state park, and that costs us $4 per adult over 13. Unless you get the state park pass, which is $70, which we highly recommend. They are following safety protocols, so expect social distancing and wear a mask. Inside the park headquarters building, you'll find a gift shop and museum. Make sure you take some time to walk through these before the tour starts. The museum exhibits that you'll see show a lot of what scientists have discovered studying the indigenous people from this area. More importantly, the museum shows a better preserved visual representation of what you're going to see in the caves. And we'll talk about that a little bit more when we get down there. As you finish up the museum tour, you'll get your first glimpse of the canyon you're about to hike down into. Next, you'll step outside where you will meet the tour guide and everybody else going on the tour with you. Once everybody is gathered, you'll start heading down towards the entrance to the canyon. Keep in mind, you're walking through a desert, so there are a lot of prickly bushes, cacti, and other things you should be careful of. Keep an eye out for those. Our particular tour guide, Anja, was very informative. She started off by telling us about this particular statue. It is a representation created by Bill Whirl that overlooks this canyon as if to watch over the land once occupied by its ancestors. It is also a redesigned piece copying one of the most famous parts of the cave art. Some plants look very interesting while others look very scary. That's the building we just left. And that's the canyon we're going into. Isn't that a fun looking group? This is about where we get our first glimpse of the caves that we're going to. And with a view like this, it's pretty fantastic. Take a closer look at the caves that we're about to get to. We're all pretty excited about getting there now that we can see them. Take a look at the canyon that we're going to walk through to get to these caves. As you can see, we are at the bottom where a lot of water has come through this area and worn away at the rock to give you what we see now. It had rained the night before, so you can see some of the water that has pooled at the bottom of the canyon. Anja gave us a lot of information, not only about the people and the cave drawings, but about the people who discovered it. Listen in for just a second.
You see 1884, Mr. Glenfield and Mr. Maynard will have their names here for a long time. And this is probably right here, one of the most talked about pieces here. Maybe they used their hands, maybe they used bristles formed out of yucca fiber. All of the above, none of the above. Some students have come up with wonderful ideas, just wonderful, and I always say it's possible. Is this an opuntia? We talked about the prickly pear and that they could make pouches.
As you can see and hear, there's still a lot yet to be discovered about these drawings and the people that lived inside these caves. That's pretty fantastic, wasn't it? But it gets better. We're moving on now to the larger of the two caves. There's a lot more art in here, so let's get over there and check it out. But before we get there, take a look at this surrounding. Can you imagine living in a cave on the side of this little river and having these walls to protect you from outsiders?
How cool.
Massive artwork. We keep showing these because these are just examples of what the drawings looked like before they started to get too eroded. Usually we don't like to show you all the details. We want you to go to a place and explore it for yourselves. But because of the precarious nature of preserving this artwork, we want to show as much as possible. We also want to record as much as possible for future reference, because this is pretty amazing, but it is wearing out. The steps going up to the larger cave are ancient. Let's take a closer look at this fossil right here. We're going to follow this path up to the cave itself. It's a little bit of a hike, but not too bad. Look at this right here. These steps lead up to it, and they've been placed there to help people get up to it. These ancient and simplistic drawings on the side of this cave wall tell the stories of lives from hundreds, if not thousands of years ago. And we have them now. But they're fading fast, and this is why time is important. We are starting to lose these to erosion, and it's not even us that's doing it, it's nature. The wind, the rain, the sand that gets kicked up from anything that's going on will slowly chip away at this magnificent artwork. you were living in a cave right here looking at this, wouldn't you just love a view like that? Just my thought on it. Why don't you tell us what you think? Leave a comment below. Tell us what you think of the art and what you think of the view from up here. We'd love to hear about it. And here we have discovered that there is a bee's nest in the roof of the cave. Obviously that's not an ancient bee's nest, but it is a bee's nest. So please be careful. Anybody allergic, make sure you're using caution. In case anybody's wondering, that view right there is part of the reason we wanted to stay for as long as we did. The other part of the reason we wanted to stay for so long is how interesting this artwork actually is, and the way it's designed and set up in the wall, as well as how it's mingled with this soot that's on the wall right there. Pretty amazing stuff. To this day, scientists still study this artwork, trying to figure out the meaning of it. They try to understand the people that lived here and what it was that they wanted to tell us, and why it was so important that they used the resources that they had available to them to leave these marks. So I'm inviting you to tell us what you think they mean. Do you remember when I was talking about how the dust will erode the artwork? Well, that's what these mats here prevent. So make sure you're staying on the mats. It also keeps people from going across this area right here, which has a lot of historic artifacts buried in it. And they don't want people stepping on that and destroying anything. At the beginning we were talking about the statue. Well, look here, that figure right there in the center is a drawing that statue was depicted from. This is at the end of the cave. Looks like it was built up a little bit as protection.
Our tour is ended. It is now time for us to leave this incredibly amazing place. So our hike back will show a little bit of the views that we had along the way.
That's the path that we took to get to where we're at right now, and we're going to walk back that way to get up there. If you were to follow the river downstream, it'll take you to the Rio Grande. So you have a heads up. As you can see, I took my hoodie off. Temperature does increase. We are in a desert. Mornings are chilly, so you need something. But the daytime, we're in the middle of January. T-shirt, shorts, gets hot. The area that we're in is part of a desert, and there's actually 3 rivers that are running in that area. This just goes to show that it even rains in the desert. Not such a bad view. And we want to say thank you for joining us on this little tour. Pictographs are awesome here. Wow, like the view, not just the view of the cave, but the view of everything, really. So, hey, if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and listen, make sure you ring that bell for notifications so that you can know when we're putting up a new video. Otherwise, you're going to miss the next adventure, or you'll just have to catch it on your next turn.
Squeeze today and be well.